Hi everyone, my name is Megan Brown and I'm an educator here at the Bruce Museum. And today I'm bringing to you our program Digital Bruce Beginnings, a program for children 3 to 5 years old and their caregivers. Today's program theme is all about animals that can camouflage in the winter. We'll explore snow and how those animals can hide it in nicely. We'll read a book about those animals that can camouflage, and we'll do some imaginative play and hands-on activities that get our minds and our imaginations going. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Let's get started. So we've been talking a lot about winter and snow and how it affects us in Digital Bruce Beginnings. But I thought it would be nice to talk a little bit more about animals, like I've done in the past in a couple of videos. And today I wanted to spend some time particularly looking at what other animals do to hide and blend in with the snow. While some animals hibernate, which is going to sleep, or others travel down south for the winter, some animals are able to camouflage. Camouflage is a way of disguising themselves visually to help hide. So for an animal, that would mean they're able to not be easily recognized outside. And so one of the things that animals tend to do is take on that color which helps them disguise themselves around their surroundings, which is camouflage. The natural color of an animal's that they can take on to help hide them is a good example of a way to survive. And one animal that works really well that might come to memory is a tiger and their stripes. Those tigers' stripes help them hide in those tall grasses. However, today we're going to be talking about animals that can camouflage in the winter. And some of those animals include hares/rabbits, weasels, and foxes. For rabbits, their fur is usually brownish gray, and in the winter it's able to turn white. As the days shorten and there's less sunlight for rabbits and it's much colder, their hair turns from brown to white. And part of that is just there's just not enough sunlight. Another animal that is able to adapt and camouflage in the winter is weasels. In those zones where it's colder and there's less sunlight, just like rabbits, the weasels are able to turn their fur from white and brown to completely white. And part of that again is based on where they're living, the sunlight and temperature, and those little changes help to notify to weasels and their fur to change colors, much like the rabbits. Another animal that does the same thing is foxes. And while foxes are typically brown and gray, sometimes a little bit orange and red in the winter, they can also change white. And so one of those things that white fur allows these animals to do is hide in the snow and keep safe from other predators that might be able to find them normally. So we just discussed some of these animals that camouflage nicely with snow, but I thought it would be nice for you and your adult to explore some other animals. Take some time to explore, look up what other animals are able to camouflage or hide in the winter with the snow, and discuss with your adult why that might be important. Pause this video, discuss those new animals, and I'll see you back here in just a minute. Now that we've had some time to talk about a few animals that are able to camouflage in the snow and discuss some other ones that maybe you aren't familiar with or I didn't mention, I thought it would be nice to read a book all about animals that camouflage in the winter. And maybe you'll see a few that you've discussed. Our book today is Animals That Camouflage in the Snow by Martha E.H. Rustad. In the snow, in a snowy world of white, animals need to blend in. Snow camouflage helps animals hunt and stay safe. And on that first page, we have a polar bear. And he's pretty white. Hunting in the snow means that they have white fur that hides Arctic wolves in the snow. This allows the wolves to sneak up on caribou. Arctic foxes have fluffy white fur that blends in with the snow, and this allows them to catch rodents and birds. So this is definitely an animal we talked about earlier. Snowy owls blend in with the snowy land. They swoop down on prey. So you can see all these animals are white and how it might help them with the snow, particularly getting food in the winter. Beluga whales have white skin. They look like ice floating in Arctic waters. Maybe this is a new animal you just discussed or didn't know could camouflage. And remember last Digital Bruce Beginnings, how we talked about those Arctic regions, how it's so important to be able to match with their environment? So now we're going to talk about animals that are safe in the snow. So, Arctic hares have brown fur in the summer, and their fur turns white in the winter. This allows predators to not be able to see them. Harp seal pups sleep safely in the snow. They are hard for predators to spot. Look at that seal. He just matches with the stove so nicely. Snow geese blend in on Arctic land. Their white feathers match the snow. So remember how we talked about geese earlier and how some of them fly down south? These geese are able to look white and match their environment, so they're able to stay safe. White feathers hide ptarmigans resting in the snow. When the snow melts, their feathers turn brown. Can you find that bird in the snow? It's a little tricky. The end. So, we just read a book that had a bunch of new animals we definitely have not discussed yet in some of our Digital Bruce Beginnings. And we discussed how their fur or their feathers change colors and help to keep them safe from harm during the winter. Did you and your adult learn about any new animals that are able to camouflage in the winter to keep them safe? And what did they change during the winter, if they changed at all? Pause this video and discuss with your adult and explore some of these new animals. What did you learn about them? How is their camouflage similar or different to the ones we talked about earlier? Pause this video and I'll see you back here in just a minute. Now that we've discussed some animals that camouflage in the winter, read a book about them, and talked about some and maybe learned some new animals that camouflage in the winter, I thought it would be fun to get up, stretch our minds and our imaginations, and do some imaginative play and hands-on activities about different things that relate to animals and camouflaging in the winter. The first activity is try hiding objects around your house with your adult, taking turns and seeing how they camouflage in your house. Take turns trying to find those objects. Maybe try hiding objects that are white, such as the animals in this book we just read. But you can try other colors too, so don't be afraid to get imaginative. Another activity you can do is to go outside and see if you can find any of these animals around you and where you live. Particularly try on a snowy day or a day after it snows. Maybe you see an owl or a rabbit that lives near you that has different colors, fur or skin that help them hide in the snow. Also, maybe take note of animals that you can see that aren't camouflaging with the snow. Spend some time finding those animals too and ask yourself how they're different than the animals that can camouflage. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for Digital Bruce Beginnings. If you would like to share any of the things you've created from this program, before or after from watching these videos, with the permission of your adult, please share those creations to our social media with the hashtag Bruce Museum. Thank you so much, and for more digital content, please visit www.brucemuseum.org. Bye, friends.